Hello and welcome to the third episode in my D&D collection spotlight, where I just go over various books in my collection that I find interesting or I think maybe other people would find interesting. Today we're going to be talking about Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition Player Handbook. I picked this up from local comic book store called Acme in Longwood, where I got a fair amount of my collection. This one is actually someone signed it, just like all the others in their background in the books. I don't think I've ever signed my books. Like this one I'm not gonna sign. It's a holographic one, but where am I gonna sign it? I don't have a white pen. I'm not gonna sign it on the glossy section. But I started collecting D&D books because I missed out. I didn't get into D&D until my 20s, till 2015. Right around, Critical Role, the big boom, 5th edition. That's what I started with. So there's a part of me that wants to, if I could, I'd go back in time and little me grab and say, play D&D. For all that is holy, play D&D, you'll love it. And I'd probably tell him to buy Bitcoin. But I collect these books because I find them interesting. I find the history of Dungeons & Dragons incredibly interesting. I find everything about Dungeons & Dragons, it's just interesting to me. I know it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. My collection, if I had to sell it, I don't know how much I'd sell it for. I don't want to sell it. I never would unless I got into really dire circumstances or I died. Stuff like that. I'm not getting rid of my collection unless it's one of those. But I'm rambling. This one I picked up, like I said, from Acme. Same as most of my collection. I literally walk in. I go maybe once a month, which means I probably am missing out. Well, no, not necessarily. Sometimes you go there and they've got nothing. But I walked in and walking through the D&D section, couldn't find anything new. They had some Dragon magazines, which are nice, some other magazines, and I thought those are cool. And then I get to the end cap where they put the new D&D books, and this was sitting right there. And I was like, yep, buying it. Took it right to the counter, bought it. No questions asked. And I'm happy I did. It's been sitting on my desk because I've been planning on making a video about it, so I haven't put it on the shelf yet. And I think once I save up some money and get like a nice tabletop camera, I'll do much longer and more involved videos, like actually read the book and go through it and discern I know what they changed. This is back. I still think they use Thaco, which is something I've never had to do. But I mean, just look at this art. It's great. I'm not saying the new books aren't great, but I mean, look at the table for Ranger's followers. Just, Ranger abilities. There's so much that these books. I like the idea of preserving these books. I would hate to see this end up in a dump somewhere or burned or something like that. I'm glad, if you're going to sell your collection, sell it to somebody who's either going to cherish it or sell it to just give it away if you're not interested anymore. I'm not saying give it away. You've invested money into it. But if you're not going to use the book anymore, sell it to someone who is. Don't just sell it to the guy who's going to put it on a no, I put it on a shelf. That's a horrible example. Don't give it to the guy who's not going to cherish it. Because I love this book. I bought it. I've had it for like a week. Haven't read it because I barely have time to do anything nowadays. But sell it to someone who's going to cherish it. I might use this to play. I don't know yet. Because Shadow Door, that's a spell I've never heard of. There's just a lot of history in these books, and I think they should be preserved and cherished. I think if you're going to buy them, make sure you're going to treat them right, and if you're going to sell them, make sure you sell them to someone who's going to treat them right and actually, wants the book. Don't throw them away. Please, if you have a collection, or if you had a loved one who passed and you don't know what to do with the books, send them to Goodwill before you trash them. Even if you're not going to make any money off them, give them to Goodwill. Someone will find it. There are people out there who are looking. I've been looking. I haven't gone to Goodwill because I don't think there's any near me. But I mean, just don't throw them away. That's all I have to ask. Please don't throw collections away.